Well, so today I was in Kibra, and as we all know, at this time, a lot of families in Kibra are going through a hard time, considering the fact that the pandemic has hit them so hard. And so there's a group of young, a dedicated group of youth. Say there are 30. There are 30 youth who have come together. They have formed a group. And what they do in this group is that they contribute food to vulnerable families in Kibra, and they do it once in a week. So every week, that is most, they do it on Saturday, but they decided to do it today, and that's why we decided to cover that story. So they distribute food to these families, and most of them are vulnerable. So something that I was wondering how they were getting their finances or how they were sponsoring themselves is that most of them are unemployed. They don't have formal employment. So what they do, they have a farm, a small farm where they grow a variety of vegetables ranging from sukuma wiki. I don't know whether sukuma wiki and kales are the same. So we have sukuma wiki, we have kales there, and they also grow tomatoes, that is, plus other types of veggies. They also rear goats. They have goats in Kibra. So somebody will be wondering whether someone can actually rear livestock in Nairobi. Okay. That is happening in Kibra. This group of young people, young men and women, are actually having a number of goats they are rearing there. And from the sale of these goats, they also milk them. They can also get finances when they sell, so that they can finance their.
Thanks, Eli Lugova. That's an amazing story. Let's take that story and we'll come back and discuss about it. Now, with the COVID-19 pandemic continuing to ravage the economy, several families in Kibra are on the verge of starvation as they find it harder to afford meals. Now, hope has come to this community through a group of youth in Darajani area that is donating food to the families. Now, the group has crafted a curious means of generating income to finance their activities. And as Eli Lugova reports, the group is using the little they get to put smiles on faces of vulnerable families in Darajani area, Kibra.
The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the residents of Kibra and other slums in the world to a bleak future. For many of these families who live under $1 a day, putting food on their tables has become even harder. In the middle of all the gloom, there is a group of dedicated youth who are striving to ensure they survive the harsh economic. Good Sense, a group comprising of 30 youth, own a small piece of land in the Rajani area of Kibra. Here, they grow a variety of vegetables to provide for themselves and vulnerable families in Kibra.
Na hii pia ni moja vitu tunafanya. Hapa ndani tuko na farm. Tunapanda vitu tofauti hapa. Tulikaa chini tukaona na hii corona watu hawana pesa, sisi kwanza members hatuna pesa, tukaona tufanye ile kitu at least tunaweza give back to the community. Venye nimekuambia, si group yetu sana tuna give back to the community, si ndio? Sasa tukaamua, tulianza na sukuma. Tukaona venye tumepanda sukuma hivi, tukaona sukuma inatoa inazaa haraka, alafu tunazichuna, atuuzi, tunapatia members, na pia kuna mama hapa nje hawana kitu kukula. Sasa venye tunaona sasa imeanza imekuwa sukuma, tuko na nyanya hapa, tuko na malenge.
Apart from growing vegetables on this small piece of land, Good Sense also rear domestic animals ranging from goats, poultry and rabbits, all to boost their revenue, part of which is used for charity.
Beside farming, pia tunafanya tuko na wanyama, tunafuga mbuzi, tunaona kama mbuzi pale. Na hii mbuzi sana inatusaidia kwa vitu vingi sana. Mimi personally mimi napenda maziwa mbuzi. Kama mbuzi imezaa, huwa tunatoa maziwa kiasi tunakunywa. Na pia mbuzi huwa tunajifurahisha pia. Kuna saa tunatakaga tunakuaga na kashere kidogo, tunachinja. Na pia kama imezana venye mbona imezana hivi.
Sasa wapo kama wanawake naona mmoja hapa.
Wote. Alafu kuna saa pia tunaweza tunakwambia mimi napenda maziwa mbuzi sana.
To finance their farming, the group designed a way of making energy-saving charcoal from used cartons, which they also sell.
Tuliamua kutengeneza makaa kupitia hizi cartons. Tunakatakata hizi box, tuna soak for 3 days. Alafu after 3 days tunakuja tunakoroga vile mwenzangu anakoroga hapo. Akisha koroga imekuwa kama uji, ndio kutokea hapo tunachukua hizi chenga za particles za makaa, tunakoroga nayo. Tukisha koroga nayo tunaanza kuzimold zikuwe kama ball, ndio itakuja tukaushe for 3 days. After 3 days ndio unakuja tunapata inakuwa hii ndio inakuwa ndio finishing yake.
Good Sense are now calling on well-wishers to join their cause and help more families in the area. Eli Logova, TV47, Nairobi.
Really interesting story there by Eli Logova, and I want to get Mwangi's and Zainab's views on this. And what I found really interesting is that this is in Kibra, and they have embraced agriculture. We're not used to seeing such things happening, and more so such good deeds. I don't know what you guys think about this. Let's start. Eli Logova, we'll finalize with you. I want to first hear from Zainab and Mwangi. Zainab?
What I can say, it's very inspiring. It's a really good deed, and we've seen so many stories from Kibra. Those young men from Kibra are doing such a great thing. Mwangi, glad to have you back.
Yeah, I'm back, and we're back with a bang. It's very interesting, very encouraging to see young men and young women feeding the vulnerable in the society. We know the effects of COVID-19, not only in the slums, but to the low-income earners in Nairobi and different parts of the country. And therefore, having these young men and women giving food to these people who maybe they would have slept hungry, I think it's something that we can say it is interesting, it has to be praised, and it is very commendable.
Logova, how did you come about this story? Maybe you can tell us.
Yeah, you know, we normally go to several places in Nairobi, you know, looking for stories. You guys understand our...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so there's a time I was walking through Kibra, and I saw them feeding this this number of kids in Kibra, and I got interested. That's why I decided, no, I had to follow up on it so that I find out, dig deeper and find out what exactly they are doing. And this is the story.
And I still believe that so many good people exist in the country. Zainab, you know, people will say that, oh, good people never exist. I think the young people in the country, the youths are setting standards. And I believe that whatever the youths are doing, if we come and the youths, they come again together in terms of political inclinations and all that, and then they support one of their own, Zainab, what do you think that the youth in this country can change?
Maybe to finish it off, I would say that we here at TV47 applaud you guys. Job well done.
Yeah,
Sure.
Absolutely. And I feel like they also need a lot of support. And I think Eli Logova, as you are finalizing that report, you mentioned that they hope that, you know, well-wishers, even the government could come on board and help them out to continue with this good deeds. So fantastic job, really positive. Now let's get